Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel Global Times USA. Subscribe and like my videos because today we are diving deep into one of the most dramatic escalations of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, an event that is shaking geopolitics, energy security, and global trade routes. Ukraine hits back. Crimean Bridge, ablaze, Russia's lifeline under threat. This is not just about a structure of steel and concrete, it's about the exterior, the interior, the performance, the safety features, the unique selling points, the price tag, and the ultimate conclusion about why this matters for the world. So let's go step by step and break it all down in detail. When we look at the exterior of the Crimean Bridge, also known as the Kerch Strait Bridge, we're talking about an engineering marvel that stretches 19 kilometers connecting mainland Russia with the Crimean Peninsula. From the outside, it's a massive steel arc dominating the sea horizon, carrying both road and rail traffic, built to show Moscow's strength and permanence in Crimea. The exterior was built to withstand storms, heavy logistics, and the symbol of unbreakable connection. But the flames we see now across the structure completely change that perception. Smoke, fire, twisted steel, and emergency vehicles scrambling make the exterior no longer look like power, but weakness. Ukraine's strike turned the strong facade into a vulnerable target, sending a global message that no exterior, however fortified, is beyond reach. Now let's go into the interior because this is where things get truly interesting. Inside the bridge's function lies its real value. The interior is not just steel, concrete, and asphalt, it's the arteries that keep Russia's war machine alive. Every day, trains carry fuel, ammunition, food, and construction materials into Crimea, and further toward occupied Kherson and Zaporizhia. Trucks loaded with military equipment, tanks, and supplies move across the bridge. The interior flow of goods and logistics is like the bloodstream for the Russian military operations. Without this interior flow, Russian bases in Crimea begin to starve of supplies. The huge pipelines and transport containers that rely on uninterrupted access suddenly face disruption. That's why the interior is the real target here. The flames aren't just burning the outside of a bridge, they're burning through the very core of Russian supply lines. This is why Ukraine aimed to hit it, because by damaging the interior purpose of the bridge, Ukraine weakens Russia's grip over Crimea. And here's the bigger picture, the interior symbolism for the Russian people. Many Russians saw the bridge as their connection to the Black Sea paradise of Crimea, their summer resorts, their pride in Moscow's achievements. Now that interior trust, that psychological comfort, is shattered by images of flames. Families who once took pride in driving across the bridge now wonder if it's even safe to travel. The interior space is no longer about unity, it's about fear. When we evaluate performance, we must analyze how the bridge functioned and how it failed under attack. Performance means reliability, the ability to handle thousands of tons of cargo and traffic daily, in all weather conditions, under enormous stress. For years, Russian state media boasted about the bridge's performance as proof of resilience, claiming it could not be destroyed. But now, Ukraine's innovative use of sea drones, missiles, and asymmetric warfare tactics shows that performance can fail under precision strikes. The bridge was designed to withstand natural disasters, but not modern warfare. Performance drops dramatically when one targeted strike can paralyze operations for weeks. The cost of rerouting logistics through longer routes across the occupied land bridge skyrockets. Russia's performance in keeping Crimea connected is suddenly much weaker. This is why military analysts say that the bridge is not just a piece of infrastructure, but a performance scorecard for Russia's war strategy. And right now, that scorecard shows major failures. Safety features also come into play here. The Russian government always claimed the bridge had extensive safety protections, anti-air defenses, naval patrols, constant monitoring, and even protective nets against underwater sabotage. But the recent explosions prove that these safety features were either overstretched, outdated, or bypassed entirely. It shows that no matter how much you spend on defenses, innovative strikes can still break through. Safety features were supposed to prevent any interruption of civilian and military traffic, yet we see entire lanes destroyed, rail transport suspended, and passenger fear rising. Russia is forced to publicly claim safety reassurances, but footage of burning rail cars and collapsed sections undermines that narrative. Ukraine exposed that safety is only as strong as your weakest link. And in this case, the weakest link was exploited brilliantly. This lesson resonates beyond Russia around the world. Nations see that even heavily guarded strategic infrastructure can still be struck when determination and innovation align. Safety features alone cannot guarantee immunity in modern conflicts. Now let's talk about unique selling points. Why is this bridge so important compared to any other Russian project? Its unique selling point is that it symbolizes Russian control over Crimea. Built after the annexation in 2014, it was the physical proof that Moscow considered Crimea permanently theirs. Unlike speeches or flags, the bridge was steel, concrete, undeniable proof of ownership. It was also a logistical miracle in Russian propaganda, connecting Crimea directly to Russia, cutting out reliance on Ukrainian routes. That uniqueness made it a constant target for Ukraine's military planners. By hitting the bridge, Ukraine is not just targeting logistics. It's attacking the unique selling point of Russia's claim over Crimea. It sends a message to Russians and to the world. Crimea is not secure, Crimea is not untouchable, and Russia's project is vulnerable. For Ukraine, this attack itself becomes a unique selling point of their resilience, proving that even after years of invasion, they can strike the very heart of Russian control. Global audiences see Ukraine's ability to innovate, adapt, and retaliate. That narrative reshapes international support and motivates partners to continue sending aid and weapons. In business terms, Ukraine rebrands itself as strong and capable, while Russia's brand takes a serious blow. When it comes to price, the numbers are staggering. The bridge cost Russia around $4 billion to construct, one of the most expensive infrastructure projects in its history. Beyond construction costs, the price of repairs after every attack runs into hundreds of millions of dollars. Every disruption increases the price of transporting goods, since alternate routes take longer, cost more fuel, and expose supply lines to more danger. But the price is not only financial. The political price for Vladimir Putin is enormous. He personally inaugurated the bridge, driving a truck across it to showcase his leadership. Now every explosion is a direct attack on his credibility. The price in reputation is massive, both for Russia's image abroad and for Putin's authority at home. The price in military terms is also critical. Without reliable supplies through the bridge, frontline operations in southern Ukraine face logistical nightmares, and the human price is perhaps the most tragic. With each disruption, civilians in Crimea face shortages, delays, and insecurity. Prices of goods rise, fear spreads, and the once celebrated Lifeline becomes a risk factor. Finally, let's reach the conclusion. The Crimean Bridge on fire is more than a breaking news headline. It's the collision of symbolism, logistics, engineering, and politics. The exterior burns show Russia's vulnerability. The interior disruption chokes military supplies. The performance failure undermines confidence. The weak safety features expose gaps in Russia's defenses. The unique selling points flip from pride to embarrassment. The price is paid in billions, in political reputation, in military weakness, and in civilian fear. The conclusion is clear. Ukraine has shown that it can hit back at the very core of Russia's occupation, and this strike shakes not only the steel of the bridge, but also the foundations of Russia's war narrative. The war is no longer one-sided, it's dynamic, dangerous, and deeply unpredictable. And for the world watching, the conclusion is a warning. In modern conflicts, even the strongest lifelines can be set ablaze.